Hi everyone, it is me, Sailor Venus, Sailor Harold Mina here. Come on, get off my stand. And today I'm going to talk about why my show never ever got made. As a lot of Sailor Moon followers know, that my book, Hidden Name Sailor V, came out before the Sailor Moon book. And even though by the time that the Sailor Moon books and drawing show came along, my books had already ran for about two followings of my books. And Sailor Moon's World, apparently, I'm already well known enough to have a film game and a drawing film. Now, a lot of folks out there might say that the Sailor Moon books, the drawing books, the funny books, whatever you want to call them, came out after my books, and maybe they were more beloved. Maybe more folks bought those books and read them. Your guess is good as mine. Or most likely, under the grounds that TOEI thought that Sailor Moon would have been more smoother to shift from a book to a drawing show. Your guess is as good as mine. But there was one following of this of Sailor Moon saga. The first following, which is a back saga, which shows how I was Sailor Venus, Sailor V at the time, Sailor Harold, when I was living in the 4-1 Kingdom before I came to Dawnland. Now, this saga was cut from Deke. Either to A, it had nothing to do with Sailor Moon, or B, because some of the things were going on in it. The only guess I could come up with is that, I don't know, the kinship between Alan and Katsarina, which I guess is some kind of Dawnish take on the Germish English, on the German English name Katrina, I guess. I don't know. Or need be the fire shot, because there was a slight of it where me and Katrina go into a house thinking we're fighting some evildoer, because I was fighting the Dark Kingdom and the 4-1 Kingdom at the time, and the fire shot went off, and then they thought I died. Or at least I made them believe that I died, because I saw that Alan and Katrina were more than only friends. And I felt that out of onlook for that, I wanted to let them think they had died. Which I guess is kind of shitty, I know. For whatever grounds, either Deke thought or Deke thought that me having a friendship with Alan and Katrina, I guess they thought that was just too much. Whatever the grounds is, Deke cut it out. And in this saga, Katrina comes back, only couldn't fight. We'll call him Millikite in Deke's world. Put a spell on her, and had a fiend take over her. And it was mostly between the two. It was mostly that. I don't know why I didn't do it. Because it shows up, I'm fighting the Dark Kingdom and the 4-1 Kingdom, which I lived in at the time, before I met Katrina. And she was a law keeper at the time. And let's keep in mind that there were many other sagas I went on, but they only kind of show some of them. So yeah, there was one saga of Sailor Moon that talks about my back saga. And that was it. And for folks who may have watched Deke one, that never came up. Hell, Pioneer never brought it up either. So it never came up again in any of the 5 following. So it was just that one back saga, and that was it. Now, a lot of folks out there might wonder, why did Deke cut it out? Was there something in it that Deke didn't like? Was there something in that one saga that Deke felt just wouldn't fly? But the more other asking thing would be is why the TOEI business never made half hidden name Sailor V into a drawing show. Did they not think that it would work? Need be would only be only have two followings due to there only being two books written and drawn by Naku Takaguchi at the time. Your guess is good as mine. Now, I do know that a lot of folks out there might wonder about what it have to do with the grounds that Sailor Moon and myself both kind of behave the way. We both got yellow hair. We're both known to be ditzes and klutzes. We're both known to be late getting to steads, mostly learn. We're both known for not being good at learn. We're both known for, falling in love with folks who, come in and help us. That would have been Alan, I guess, at the time. But it may have been some other fellow who was in it. And it is true that some of my friends just happen to look like Sailor Moon's friends. And that Serena and Amy and Ray and Lita tend to show up in my book from time to time, even before the Sailor Moon books were being written and drawn. Or drawn and written. So your guess is good as mine of why the TOEI business never made a hidden V show, drawing show, or at least a drawing film. I don't know why. It was just that one saga in Sailor Moon's first following that TOEI made, and that Viz Glee never did anything with. They cut it out. Why? Who knows? Like I said, it might have to do with the fire shop being thrown into the house that me and Katrina were going into. The one that they thought I died in. That Alan and Katrina, or Helen and Katrina, both thought I died in. And after learning that really Katrina and Alan were in love, instead of the other way around, because I was in love with Alan and Katrina Alan and Katrina were my friends at the time, and I made them both believe at the time I had died. But that wasn't true. And somehow, some way, Katrina, I guess it's Katrina, or Katerina, as I like to call her. I don't know why they call her that. It's the same name. They're just shifting out the saying of it. So, yeah. And Artemis, I meet Artemis not too long into my book. And you just like Luna meeting Serena, Artemis has to teach me and has to show me and that I was chosen by God to be Sailor Venus or Sailor Hellworld. And that, like Serena, I didn't really take it earnest at first. And yes, also the game middle cap, the game middle does show up. Andrew does show up. The Sailor V game, which Sailor Moon seems to be good at, and that Lita is also good at, and that Amy was also good at too, and I guess Ray is kind of good at. Well, that game was offshooted in my world, but it was only in there to teach me, give me fighting skills, believe it or not. Now you might wonder to yourself, if I became well known enough by the time Sailor Moon Saga started, with having a film game and a drawing show and a film game and a drawing film, and I was well known enough, how did I keep all that hidden? Now, on PGSM, the live Sailor Moon show, Farseer show, that ran starting from the end of 2003 while at 2004 YL, does have a back saga. It's called Play Nothing, and it was filmed many years after the first followings of Salem at that show, and it does show how I meet Artemis and how I become Sailor V. So yeah, the live Sailor Moon show PGSM gives a back saga. Now I know some folks out there may have not. Some folks out there might wonder. And a lot of folks keep saying Nibi TOEI business will make the hidden name Sailor V drawing show next, or at least a drawing film. Who knows? They could make at least 2 sagas, 2 followings out of it, due to there being 2 books out of it. So anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you think. Why do you think hidden name Sailor V never made? Why do you think Deep Glee cut that one saga out of Sailor Moon with me in it about my back saga? I, Sailor Venus, Sailor Harold Mina, and I'll see you later.